2026 NFL Combine is officially underway, and Kevin O'Connell and Rob Brzezinski were talking to local Vikings media today, and they talk about a lot. Kevin O'Connell was talking about JJ McCarthy. He was talking about former GM Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. Brzezinski was talking about the QBs, and then also Jordan Schultz, top NFL insider, put out a report that multiple teams are calling the Vikings about Javon Hargrave. So we'll talk about it all on today's show. But if you guys could hit that subscribe button today, it is going to be a crazy week here in Vikings land. Quarterback drama, Kevin O'Connell talking multiple times. Also, who are the Vikings looking at during the 2026 NFL Draft? We'll have it all covered here on the channel, and we just need 88 more subscribers. 88 until we hit 70,000 here on YouTube. So if you guys could hit that subscribe button today, we just need 88 more of you guys to help us reach our next milestone. All right, Kevin O'Connell was talking about JJ McCarthy, and he says a lot of those feelings are still the same. Asked if JJ McCarthy is a franchise quarterback. But then he added, it's just the timeline is in a different place for all of us than it was in 2024, excuse me. So let's first start off with this first part of the quote. A lot of those feelings are still the same. I am so curious what Kevin O'Connell is getting at here. Is it maturity questions? Is it accuracy concerns? Is it mechanical issues that he's seeing with JJ McCarthy? So if a lot of those feelings are the same of who he thought JJ McCarthy was coming out of college, what changed? What are the same? Typical word salad coming in from Kevin O'Connell. But the part on the second half, when KOC was alluding to how it's different how it's different compared to back in 2024, it's Kevin O'Connell knows he's on the hot seat heading into the next season. He does not have this long shelf life where back in 2024, he's probably saying to himself, like, hey, if I draft JJ McCarthy, we probably got him for 3 or 4 years. Let's turn him into something by maybe the time he's 25 years old. Well, that has completely changed. Now heading into the next season, the expectation is for the Vikings to make the playoffs and win a playoff game. Because I still believe if the Vikings miss the playoffs next season, one, it will be because of the offense. Because the defense, it's going to be top 5. Brian Flores is going to have that side of the football humming. If they miss the playoffs, it would be because of Kevin O'Connell's unit offensively. So if they have a bad offense, they don't make the playoffs, he will probably end up getting fired. So he understands his seat is extremely, extremely hot. And that's why when it comes to JJ McCarthy, they probably want to get an immediate upgrade. Like, yes, maybe they want to develop JJ behind the scenes, but for just next season, they want a guy that gives them the best chance to win the playoffs. And I think it's clear here that JJ McCarthy wasn't as ready as they thought he would be. They thought last year McCarthy would be able to take the reins, take this offense, get them back to the playoffs, and maybe they didn't truly believe they could win a Super Bowl with him last season, but they for sure thought that they could win a playoff game, if not multiple playoff games. So clearly they were wrong about their evaluation. Maybe Kevin O'Connell's kind of getting at that too. Be like, hey, we thought this guy was going to be able to step into the NFL right away, be like a Brock Purdy style of quarterback, just run the offense at a decent enough level. We'll have a stellar defense, some great weapons around him. We can win a lot of games. Clearly, JJ McCarthy wasn't ready to do that, so the evaluation of McCarthy was wrong. But let's kick it back to Kevin O'Connell and this Vikings organization. So clearly he has more say in the organization. He was asked about that. He says, I want ultimately what's best for the organization under the direction of our ownership. I think leadership in its purest form is at its best when that question doesn't necessarily have to be answered. I thought that was just typical word salad from Kevin O'Connell right there. Like that should be in a book on how to just navigate tough questions in the media. Great stuff right there from KOC. But I think it's clear that Kevin O'Connell is calling the shots here in this organization. We have known this since Kwesi was fired. I mean, the fact that it happened so late after the season and all the reporting that came out after the fact of, Kwesi might have had final say in the quarterback spot or quarterback decision last season. Like Kevin O'Connell, he didn't have full roster control like he would have wanted. Like all those little reports that were start coming out. Like I think it's clear that KOC and his camp were one trying to save face, but also now heading into the future, he is the one calling the shots. But KOC didn't want to tarnish that relationship with Kwesi. He was asked about, and he says it was and will always continue to be strong. Any kind of thoughts or noise to the contrary of that is not accurate in any way, shape, or form. And I am sure Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi are very friendly with each other. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they still chop it up here and there. He calls, he's checking in on his family, and vice versa from Kwesi. But they just saw the game of football entirely differently. I mean, Kevin O'Connell, he played in the NFL, was a quarterback for the Patriots, crazy Wall Street guy, analytical nerd. Like, they just viewed it totally differently. So I'm sure, even though the relationship's good, I'm sure when evaluating prospects and making decisions on big parts of this franchise's direction over the last couple of years, I'm sure they butted head multiple times. And it does make a lot of sense. But you guys let me know. Are you a fan of Kevin O'Connell? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no down below in the comment section. Overall, I'm a fan of KOC. He just kind of drives me up a wall here and there. But you guys let me know your thoughts if you're a fan of KOC. All right. Now let's talk about Rob Brzezinski on the quarterback position. He pretty much left the door open for the Vikings to go any different direction this offseason. That's what he had to say. He said, I don't know that we're ruling anything out. We have not a ton of time, but we have a couple of weeks, and so we're exploring every option that could be out there. It's casting a wide net, I guess I would say. And, the Vikings aren't letting anything out on their plan. Like, they're not letting any sort of information where it's like, hey, we plan on calling the Arizona Cardinals. Like, they're keeping all their cards close to the vest like they normally do. I mean, this organization, they never are really sparking any rumors. Like, they're keeping everything in-house. They do a very good job of that. For a content perspective, kind of makes it annoying covering the Minnesota Vikings, but from a team perspective and wanting your team to be the most successful, quiet off seasons lead to successful regular seasons. They've been saying that in Minnesota for the last 20 seasons. So clearly here with the quarterback situation, they're kind of taking the same path. Keep it all close to the vest. Don't want to say too much, but they want to keep it very broad. Hey, everything is on the table. We'll explore every avenue. No stone will go unturned. We will explore every single option here this offseason at the QB spot. So I like that answer from Rob, but I really like this answer from our guy Brzezinski saying everybody talks about their fans being the best in the NFL, but there's a special connection here. Our fans deserve to see this organization raise the Lombardi. Couldn't agree more, Rob. And I also love that Rob is pandering to the fan base already, trying to become the next Vikings GM. He understands it. Like, he's been with this organization since 1999. That is the longest tenured Vikings employee. So if anybody besides the fan base probably deserves to see this organization hoist that Lombardi, it's probably Rob Brzezinski. So I like him kind of pandering to the fan base there a little bit, getting the good vibes going just in case he does become the next GM. And he was asked about becoming the next GM. He says, I'm just focused right now the next 2 months or whatever's ahead of us into the draft. It's an awesome responsibility. I've been here a long time. I know what this franchise means to our fans and just want to be a small part of one day delivering that championship. And so whatever steps we can take in the next couple of months, we're going to do that to make that happen. And that's what I'm focused on right now. Great self-awareness by Rob. Very well spoken as well. Just the part of him saying, I just want to be a small part in the Vikings winning a championship. Like, I absolutely love that. Seems like a very humble guy, very wholesome, and he understands, like, his job right now is just to navigate the ship. Kevin O'Connell, Brian Flores, they're going to be wanting to bring in their own guys defensively, offensively. He's got to make it work financially, and it looks like he's trying to attack that head on. If he has a good offseason, I would not be shocked if he is the GM for at least one season with the Vikes. But Jordan Schultz tweeting this out about Javon Hargrave, saying the Vikings have had trade talks with teams regarding two-time Pro Bowler defensive tackle Javon Hargrave. Started 15 games last season and had 3.5 sacks in his first season with Minnesota. So in terms of Vikings trading Hargrave, I mean, the guy's 33 years old and he's a defensive tackle. Like, you're obviously not going to get much. And they obviously know the financial implications where if they try to trade him, they actually save $14 million on the cap. But if they cut him, it's only $11 million. So they're trying to maybe somehow get an extra draft pick and also an extra $3 million. But hearing this, the Vikings are just trying to catch a 7th-round pick. And if they can't, Hargrave will be cut. As simple as that. Like, when we're getting these reports, and this happens every NFL offseason, not just with the Minnesota Vikings. If you have an aging veteran, especially on the defensive line, who is clearly past their prime, and they got a contract that doesn't really live up to their play, the report will come out. This team is trying to trade this guy. That guy doesn't get traded. He'll get cut 2 weeks later. And this also could just be teams trying to call in and just try to get a feel about how Javon Hargrave was this past season. Like, calling Kevin O'Connell, calling Brian Flores. What can you tell us about him? Like, these trade talks, they can go any different direction. But it does not shock me that the Vikings are trying to move off Hargrave, considering the contract. And also, the Vikings, they need to make moves. I'm still shocked that there have been no moves made from the Vikings so far, considering they're $40 million over the cap as it stands right now. Now, if you guys made it to the end of today's show, just hit me with those goals down below in the comment section. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. See you guys next time. Let's go Vikes.